Hey YouTube, what's up? It's your girl Always Nigeria coming back at you today with another video. I know it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. So thank you for those who have been waiting. Thank you for my new subscribers who've been subscribing. Thank you for my old subscribers who've been emailing me and updating me and letting me know what's going on with them. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and click like, subscribe, comment, and even share. And if you're a continuing follower, go ahead and continue to follow. And this one is for you guys because this video has been highly requested. Not gonna lie, I've been receiving tons of emails and even comments asking me to do this video. So while my babies are asleep, I'm gonna get into it. So without further ado, I thank you guys, and here it is. So, as you may know or not know, I am a nursing student. I am in an ADN program, and I'm sorry this video will be long. And I've actually asked my subscribers how they felt, if they wanted me to do a quick recap or if they wanted me to go in depth, and they wanted a long, in-depth video. So, bear with me. If you don't like it, you can speed up and get to the part you want to hear about. For those of you who wanted the long video, you'll be happy. So, I am in an ADN program. It is 4 semesters long, with those semesters being 15 weeks. So it is like a 16-month program or something like that. And that is not including, of course, your prereqs and things of that nature. So I started August 26th, and here it is December 18th. And I am officially done with my first semester, guys. That was 4 classes, 4 classes long, a lab and a clinical. I just thank God. I am done with first semester. I finished actually December 14th, so I've been out of class 4 days now, and it feels really unreal. I constantly feel like there's something I need to be doing, something I'm supposed to be reviewing, something I need to be turning in, but no, I am okay. I can relax, I can breathe, thank God. So you guys may notice that my background's a little different. I actually had a move during this semester. I moved a month ago, so I don't have my office anymore. I now have to put my office area in my bedroom. But that's okay. I made it work. So I'm gonna get into how nursing school definitely changes things, and it definitely puts pressure on things. So those of you who knew, I was in a relationship. We actually have separated but not separated. We're currently living in different homes. However, we are working on getting back together. Our friendship has actually gotten better since we've, moved out of the same household. We're in constant contact. Of course, we have children together. We both love each other, miss each other, and so we're working on getting back together, but making sure that we're both in the best place to be the best person for each other. So with that being said, that's why my background is different. Okay. Actually, he's taking me on a date this weekend. I'm actually really excited about that. It's kind of weird how I get butterflies now. It's kind of like a new relationship, but it's just us, and we're just working on getting everything back right. So I'm excited. Anyway, so I'm gonna get into the essentials, okay? So, when you get your acceptance letter for nursing school, obviously you want to go buy tons and tons and tons of things. Those of you who saw my supply haul know that I spent tons of money on nursing supplies. So I'm just going to get into what I actually used, what I feel was essential for theory/lecture, and what I feel was essential for clinical. And then I'll get into the breakdown of how my classes were, the grading scale, and things like that. So the essential supplies, sorry, I got it written down here, guys, that I felt were absolutely necessary for lecture/theory was a planner. Number 1, planner. Because, okay, first day of class, you go in and you think, oh, it's the first day. They're just going to go over like the syllabus. They're just going to do that. wrong. Yes, it's college. Yes, it's school, but nursing school is completely different. Yes, they do spend about 45 minutes going over the syllabus, and after that, pshoo, they take off. So be very, very, very detailed when it comes to your planner, and know that things may change with those dates, but honestly, planner is number one. I don't care if you use the planner on your phone, if you use a desk planner, if you use the Happy Planner, which I have, which you guys know, this is my Happy Planner. See, it's like sitting close and I'm not even in school right now. So this was my Happy Planner. It is all the way until next year, 2020. So that works for me. And then I'll only have 5 months to where I have to get a new planner because I'm done May of 2021, God willing. Pass all my classes. And I also have a desk planner, like one of those huge ones that can be on the wall or the desk, because God forbid you forget an assignment or anything and you're just pretty much fucked. And I'll get into like details about that in a minute. So on top of the planner, I highly recommend getting a recorder. So whether you use the one on your phone, whether you use the one on your laptop, this was mine. This was $100 recorder. I don't think that you need to spend $100 on a recorder. Now that I've used it, it was great. I mean, I literally have had to charge that thing maybe twice. And I had it for 15 weeks, which is a little over 3 months. So it's almost 4 months in, and I've literally had to charge the thing like twice. I have tons of lectures on there, and they are really, really long. So that was a great investment, not gonna lie, but you can use your phone and just delete as you go if you like. You can use your recorder on your computer, however you choose. I suggest recording because there's no way with the instructor going 3,000 miles a minute, you're gonna be able to listen to them attentively and be alert listening, and, or should I say actively listening and writing at the same time without missing something. And God forbid it'd be like one of the most crucial things you'll need to know from that specific lecture to go over on your test, and you fucked it up by not actively listening. So definitely recommend a recorder. I took my laptop, which was my MacBook. I took it to class several times because I can type faster than I can write. So I really liked being able to type my notes as I was listening. Also had the recorder going just in case I missed anything. And then I would come home and I would listen to my lectures and look at what I typed out in class and then put that on paper. Because the more you write it and the more you listen to it, like listen to the lectures and write it out, whether you typed it first and then rewrote it, or you wrote it in class and you rewrote it because it was like sloppy as hell, that material will start to kind of be, what is it, like branded, or I don't even know the word, guys, molded into your brain or burned into your brain, however the fuck you want to put it. It'll be there. Shit. And so, yeah, I suggest you either take your laptop or something like that, if that's the way that you take notes, because everyone learns differently. Paper. Freaking tons of paper, guys. Tons of paper. You're going to take a million fucking notes. Tons of paper. I don't really need to get into fucking paper. Whether it be college rules, wide rules, fucking plain paper. I don't give a shit. Paper. You need paper. Okay? All right. Note cards. Listen. Note cards. I am not a note card chick. For nursing school. I didn't think that I would be. Like, I use note cards for like anatomy and physiology. But I just don't learn with note cards. And in nursing school, pharmacology class taught my ass to start using note cards. And I'm trying to find some of my note cards. What did I do with them? I had them in here. I think I took them out and put them in my bag. Here goes some notes, guys, for my test I was studying for. As you can see, it's like, that was one of my pharm tests. Actually, it was my final. I'm trying to find some of my note cards. I had tons of them, but you know, I don't know what the hell I did with them. After the class was over, I kind of just was like, fuck it. Why? It looks like, oh, did I leave them in that folder? Possibly. I'm trying to find some that I had written out already for you guys, so you can see how I did mine. And if I can't find them, I don't know what to tell y'all, but I hope, oh, okay, so here goes some. So for pharmacology, obviously the best way for me to learn was via note card. So I did things like take the drug and write the other name for it. These were not drugs. These were actual herbal medications that people take. So like whatever. And then I would write the treatment or what it was used for and things like that. For drug classes, I kind of really like to use acronyms, and then I went through that way. And obviously, like I said, colors make everything easier for me. I was able to learn a lot better using several different colors. And then I'll even show you really quickly how I did my notes for pharmacology, just because I want you guys to get an idea of how you'll need to do things, or how I did things, not necessarily how you'll need to do things, because we all learn differently. So for chapter 1, I kind of went through, and I think I showed you guys this binder / notebook thingy. I got it from Target for $7.99, whereas Amazon wanted $18 for one of them. Yeah, which was surprising because, you know, Target is fucking high and Amazon is usually cheap, but whatever. So here's, I wrote this one out already. Here is drug development, whatever, and ethical considerations. So like I went through the chapter and I tried, guys, I tried to read the chapters, not every fucking part of the chapters, because God, your freaking teachers will assign like 7 to 11, sometimes 13 chapters for an exam, or no, sorry, for a quiz that's only 20 questions long and an exam that's like 55 fucking questions or 50 questions, your final being like 100 questions. But I'm not reading 7 to 13 fucking chapters of endless information that's not all gonna stick. So what I try to do is pull out like bold words and boxes, because a lot of information is in the boxes, guys. It will be summed up in the boxes. And I would just like try to narrow my notes down to one page, front and back. I would cram as much information on those pages as possible, because I noticed from my first half of the semester, I was writing so much notes, using so much paper, that by the time it came down to me finishing the notes from those chapters, it'd be time to take the fucking quiz or test, and I hadn't even been able to go back and review the information. So the second half of the semester, I learned this style. So just know that how you go into the program may not be how you continuously learn, or that's not how, don't be afraid to modify your studying skills. So anyway, this is a page of notes, and I would do like bullet points, different, and I would pinpoint the boxes and things like that. So like I said, I love acronyms. I try to make them cute. I would even do diagrams and things like that, put things in bubbles. And just the different colors kind of stuck out to me, and it made it easier for me to grasp. So this was pharmacology anyway. So that's how I did pharm. And when it came to like the drugs, I did all the drugs on note cards, like the large note cards, guys, not the little bitty ones, the ones that are, you know, larger. Anyway, moving back on. So note cards, tons of pens, tons of highlighters, tons of pencils, because we had exams and quizzes that were on paper, so Scantron. But then like our final exams would be HESI exams on the computer. So that was insane. And we also had random dosage calculation exams. I'll get into details about that because I know I've gone over it in some videos, but if I have new subscribers, you guys don't know unless you've watched my videos, and then thanks. But yeah, calculator, It has to be a basic, simple calculator. And the reason I say that is because they'll check. Okay, you can't have your little fancy schmancy $100 calculator. Mine originally was $130. I cannot use that calculator anymore because it's not allowed in nursing school. So go fucking figure. I had to buy a $7 calculator. Sticky notes of different sizes. That's so important because you'll need sticky notes that are about this big in size. You can use the regular basic ass sticky note. And then those little sticky flags, I love those for putting them in my textbooks, because I'll get into textbooks in a minute, but just for a quick tip, for those rented books, I couldn't write in them, couldn't highlight in them, so using the sticky little flag to like point towards the information I needed to know was great. So those, a rolling backpack, guys, because your back will freaking break. Literally, those textbooks are going to be the size of you. And even though I had a rolling book bag, I swear to God, that shit was filled to the brim. Like, with textbooks and notebooks and whatever the hell else that I needed, it was filled to the brim. So getting on to books, like textbooks for lectures. So I rented 4 books because I only needed them for that semester. The books that I needed throughout the semester, or sorry, throughout the nursing program, I actually purchased because I didn't feel the need to continuously rent them, because I was going to continuously cost, and that cost would add up to more than the actual price of just purchasing them. So for like pharmacology, I rented that book. The lab diagnostic values, rented that book. Physical assessment, rented that book. And foundations of nursing, I rented that book because I didn't need them. No, I'm sorry. Pharmacology I actually paid for. I bought it used from somebody else. So the Med-Surg Clinical Companion, I rented that book. And I never opened that book or the laboratory diagnostic book, not one fucking time. So I could have saved my coin, okay? Never opened that freaking book. I'm gonna just reiterate. I never opened those 2 damn books. So I'm pissed. But whatever. So I would say go through the book list that you're going to receive from your nursing department, and you can see which ones you're going to need throughout and which ones you can just get for that semester. You can rent those and get them shits back. So for like Med-Surg, I bought those books volume 1 and 2 because I'll need them throughout my entire program. I haven't gotten my OB book or my psychiatric book or whatever because I'm just now moving on. So with that being said, your girl did pass the first semester. Thank God, by God's grace. I'll get into that little story time. Okay, so moving on. Those are like my essential, needed those items. Also, it never hurts to always have you a pack of freaking gum. I had like a little kit that I carried in my book bag. It was like a little see-through plastic kit. I carried like I think I showed you guys the kit. It was like tampons in there, panty liners, gum, hand sanitizer, a little lotion, little lip balm, all your little necessities as a woman, because you never know. Okay, so clinical. So I got a small clinical bag off Amazon. Y'all know your girl love Amazon. Amazon need to go ahead and pay your girl for some damn Showtime, because I'm always giving these niggas a little whatever. Anyway, this is the small clinical bag that I got from Amazon. It is the Ka and Key version. Let me zip this up. It just looks stupid. I don't know why I got this color. I really just liked the damn color, but it was fucking stupid because, as you can see, now I have like this red stain on the bottom of it. I feel like this should not have been at the bottom. Maybe the gray should have been at the bottom, but whatever. I really, really like it. You can actually tuck these. No, you can't. I'm sorry. That's on my book bag, my regular book bag. Anyway, this is a small version. It's not that big, as you can see if I back up. It has this. You have like the little side pocket. Then you have a way to sneak shit into the back if you don't want to open up the whole thing, and it's on both sides. So you can just, you know, if you don't want to open your whole bag, you can just slide stuff into the main thing. So that's good. I used to keep like my wallet and keys back here because obviously my book bag is on me. this pocket will be out and someone can steal from there without me even noticing, because you know there's some thieves out here, y'all. There's some thieves. But if my book bag is on and my important stuff is in this pocket, they can't get through there without freaking snatching it off me. So yeah. And then I really liked how it opened at the top. It just opens like, you know, zips up like so. And then it just opens like wide mouth. See? This is wide mouth. So yeah. Anyway, my MacBook and stuff like that all fit in there. So yeah, it was spacious enough. I didn't need the large version of it. The small one was great for clinical. You need a pocket notepad. So like I used this. I just called it Skills Lab. And then so everything that I learned in Skills Lab, I kind of just condensed it down and put it on note cards here, because it just was such a freaking great. Sorry about that, y'all. My nursing sister called me because we are actually having to register for our second semester at 6 a.m. So we're trying to get our times for clinical rotation class and everything like that together, because we have to register for the first 7.5 weeks as well as our second 7.5 weeks, and we're trying to get the same class and same clinical. So yeah, she just called me. We're trying to get that together. Now back to the pocket notepad. So I had 2 different ones, and they just both had like important notes. I think I did like important notes in this one, just reminders, and then in this one it was like how to do certain procedures. So yeah, those are really important to have, just because you don't want to be that nursing student that has to keep running out the room to either 1, get your clinical instructor, or 2, get your nurse, because then you seem ill prepared. So just having that little extra little reminder in your pocket is just amazing. I got the storage clipboard with the like the help cards attached to it, as well as like the additional ones on the inside, and that was amazing, because in the hospital setting that we were in, we didn't have a lot of like desk space, and like a lot of the times you're on the go when you're walking around and you have to be jotting things down. So it was like always helpful to have that, you know, that hard surface. And then with it being like the storage area, you were able to, like others have said, hide your patient information and things like that. And then you will be getting clinical assignments, like homework assignments. So it was best to just keep that type of stuff all together. So I definitely recommend getting that as well. And then if you get that, let me see if I have that, ladies. Okay, I don't have it. Oh, yes, I do. So if you get it from Tribe RN, they actually send you this card and you get a lifetime warranty on it. So like mine actually got ran over, and I just emailed them and they sent me, they had Amazon send me another one, and they actually upgraded mine, because originally I just had the one with the helpful thing on the back. But they actually sent me like a pack of other helpful cards. So that was amazing. And it's like lifetime warranty. So that was great. So if you get it from them, that's amazing. They give you that little card and you can just contact them if anything ever goes wrong with it. The pocket protector I had, which is this little one. I think I showed you this in my like nursing supply haul. It was great because I was able to put like my bandage, scissors. I actually had my calculator in the back like this, because a lot of the times you may need to calculate things and they don't allow you to bring out your phone. They don't allow it. Matter of fact, they don't allow it. I'm not about to just get y'all in trouble, because we were actually pulling our phones out to calculate if need be. But I started bringing my calculator because I didn't want to risk it. So like when I was in surgery, actually, I wasn't allowed to bring all that extra stuff in. So I was able to bring my phone in as long as it was on silent, and I was pulling my phone out to calculate with the CRNA. His name was Will. He would have us calculate the dosaging of the anesthesia or whatever. And then he would of course check our work and shit like that. But yeah, so have like a pocket protector, because you'll need your pen light. You'll need your you'll need a pen light, you'll need pens, you'll need the bandage scissors, you'll need tape, things like that. And so it was just great to have that, because you could just pull it out of your pocket and you would have everything just already there, instead of searching in like 3,000 pockets, because obviously as nursing students and nurses, you love your pockets, but then things get freaking lost in those fucking 1,000 pockets. So that was great to have what you needed right when you needed it. And yeah, I just went over the bandage, scissors, tape, pen, light pens, multicolor. And be cute, you guys, on your first day, because we had picture day and my badge, baby, was not it, okay? Obviously we had to wear like our hair up, so obviously I had a bun like everyone else, but like I was just really basic. I didn't do any light little makeup. I think that just, sorry for the glare. Oh God, okay. I think like a light makeup would have made my picture a little bit better, but I didn't do that. So had I done that, it would have been better. So yeah, like just grab like a cute little lip balm or some mascara, a cute little lip balm or a cute little whatever the hell this is, lip gloss, and call it a day. You can't have like hoops, but you can do like little studs. And so yeah, make yourself presentable. I was cute, but I wasn't like popping, you know. So those were the essentials as far as theory and clinical. Now I'll give you guys a breakdown of my classes. Okay, so for physical assessment and foundation, so that was the first 7.5 weeks. Okay, so my school goes, each semester is 15 weeks. So the first semester was broken up into 2 7.5 week components. So for the first 7.5 weeks, I had foundations and I had physical assessment. And with those classes, they each had a lab. So that's when we would do our lectures, and they were freaking long as shit. And then when we go to lab and we would practice our skills, and I actually uploaded a video of me practicing some of the skills that I learned in lab. So yeah, those classes were not that hard, but what I can say is it was a lot of work because you're a new student. You have 2 classes giving you like 7 to 13 chapters a week to read. And then you're also having to practice your skills and check off on those skills. And Lord, check-offs are intense. And the reason check-offs are so intense is because they're preparing you to go to the clinical site. And so you have your instructor just like in your goddamn face, making sure that you're following each step by step from the book, like not missing a step, not skipping a step, not going back to redo that step. It was just fucking intense. And obviously it's going to be intense because you've never really done these skills before, and this is a fucking nurse who's been a nurse or a nurse practitioner or a doctor for fucking ever, and they're monitoring you, and you're like, well, goddamn, stop breathing like that, you're making me nervous, or whatever. So it was intense. And I can say actually my foundations lab component was more intense than my physical assessment, because my physical assessment teacher was less intense. She was a new instructor, she was a nurse practitioner, and she was really, really nice. So although she did go by like the book, she was a sweetheart. So performing for her wasn't as difficult. It wasn't as nerve-wracking. She let you take your time to get yourself together, and then, you know, she would go. She wouldn't make her presence known, although they're sitting fucking right there, so it's kind of hard not to make their presence known. But like then my other instructor, she's been a nurse for fucking longer than I've been alive. I'm fucking 28, about to be 29 in June. She was older, so she was set in her ways. Everything was by the book, but everything was not by the book because it was like her way or no fucking way, even though she said she went by the book, whatever. And like, if you brought up, well, this is what the book says, then she'd do this little, well, we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna do this. We're not whatever. So yeah, her checkoffs were more intense because she was an intense instructor. No one wanted to ever take her. And unfortunately for me, I was assigned her because when my cohort came around, we were assigned our first semester classes and instructors. So it was just fucked up, honestly. But yeah, I made it past that. So that's how that was broken down. And then once you made it past that, it was amazing. Also, we did get that dosage calculation exam thrown in there. I failed the first time. We got 3 attempts. I failed the first time by 1 question. Then the second time I missed one question, but I passed with a 90%. So of course I was able to move on. So then after that 7.5 weeks, we went into after that 7.5 weeks, we went into the second half of the first semester, which is another 7.5 weeks. And in that semester, or that 7.5 weeks, we went through Med-Surg 1 and pharmacology. Yes, we had pharmacology for only 7.5 weeks. That was an accelerated pharmacology class, and so it was fucking intense. So, with that being said, Med-Surg 1, I had an amazing teacher. She was fun. She was about her business. She was a doctor. She had a doctorate in nursing, but she was great. Pharmacology, my instructor was a new instructor to the school. She was new as far as lecture wise, but she did do some clinical instructing. She was a decent instructor. She gave really good study guides. However, pharmacology already is intense, so having to learn so many drugs and the action of those drugs and the reason people are taking those drugs and learn so many of them within 7.5 weeks and then be able to carry that over into lab was very, very intense. And before you can give medications, obviously the clinical instructor is going to say, hey, you get your assignment, you go through, I'll go over that in a minute. Anyway, the clinical instructor is going to ask you why this patient is taking this medication, so you need to know it. And then we also had another dosage calculation exam. So it was the Med-Surg 1. So I failed the first time. Failed the second time because of my nerves. Third time was the fucking charm and I passed. But it was so nerve-wracking because the instructor would come in there. He would write on the board, yeah, so whoever doesn't fail, this is the date that you come back and retake the test and this, that, and the third. And it's like, bro, I'm about to take an exam. Why are you putting that on the board? Like, I'm already nervous as hell and that's what you put on the board. So it was like really nerve-wracking, but I know I had to go in there and kill it the third time because even if I passed all my classes, if I didn't pass dosage calculation exams, you can't go forward. You have to remediate. So that would have fucking sucked to pass the classes, but fail this, that they're not even teaching you. They just give you a blueprint and you're expected to teach yourself. So yeah, that would have sucked. So thank God, God willing, God's grace, I passed that third time around and I was able to keep going. So my suggestions for you guys based off of this first semester, because I swear I passed Med-Surg with an 88%. That's a B. So I have B, B, C, C. So I have a B in physical assessment. I have a C in foundations. I have a B in Med-Surg and have a C in pharmacology. But C's get degrees in nursing school and the grading scale is so intense. So like for you to get an A, you have to have a 93%. That's like an A minus. Yes. The C's start out at 75%. My school does not round. So if you got a 74.9999, they would not round you up to that 75% and you will have to remediate. Also, like I said, they don't teach you the math. So like it's best to learn that shit because prior to getting in nursing school, because they don't teach it. And they would just randomly send out an email, like blast an email to the nursing cohort and say, hey, this is when your math exam is going to be. Mind you, we will already be studying for exams for our courses. And we would have to show up at the most random times, bright and fucking early. So that shit sucked too, because they didn't care if you had work. They didn't care if you missed an exam. That was a failure. That was considered a failure. So you had to be there. You didn't want to take a failure because you didn't show up. That was insane. So what I did, I immediately linked with someone. Her name is Unique. You've seen her on my video. She is great. We call each other sisters. We've actually hung out countless times outside of school. We hang out all the time. We're always on the phone. We kept each other motivated. We kept each other laughing. We picked each other up when school was knocking us the fuck down or life was knocking us down, because we both have kids. We both had relationships, you know, things like that. So my first suggestion before anything would be to find someone that you see you can get along with and link with them and stay with them. So that, like I said, that was my nursing sister who called, who interrupted the video. Because you're going to need that. I mean, you may be able to get through this alone, but I can definitely tell you that it's not easy and you don't want to. Honestly, I wouldn't say go get you a group of people, because I didn't do a group. I had one person that was consistently with me. We did link with others, like for like lunch and like right before our exams or things like that. We would link with other members of my cohort, especially because we got separated for clinical for the first half. So for this last 7.5 weeks, we were separated for clinical. She would go Monday and Tuesday, and I would go Thursday and Friday. So I did kind of get closer to other people during my clinical rotation, but nonetheless, her and I we just clicked. And so like, we would just help each other. Like if I was struggling with this, she would help me with that. If she was struggling with that, I would help her with this, or however. So my number one tip would definitely be to get a study partner, a study group, or whatever. If you can learn with multiple people, go ahead. But if it's easier for you to just have one consistent person, get that one consistent person. And you know, so it was great because when one of us, like, we didn't always pass tests and quizzes, guys. Don't get me wrong. She's failed, I've failed. But the thing was, we like dusted ourselves back off. We would let the other one know, okay, we just got to go harder for this next time so you can pull that grade back up, because we're getting through this together. So, prime example, I almost failed pharmacology. My first exam in pharmacology, I completely bombed that shit. Completely bombed it. I got a 54. Mind you, I studied my ass off for that exam. It was just so hard for me to comprehend how to answer pharmacology questions. It was just, I don't know. It was really hard for me. So I fucking failed that first exam. I got a 54 out of 100%. So needless to say, although I was getting 88s and 94s after that on every quiz and every exam, it didn't matter, because I bombed that first exam in that short amount of time. It was so hard for me to make sure that I passed the class. I literally passed by God's grace. I got a 75.1%. 75.1%, guys. That was nothing but God. But I'm saying that to say, I failed the first pharmacology exam. She failed the first med-surg exam. So we kind of just pushed each other to keep each other going. We're like, bro, okay, we're going to pull your grade up here. We're going to pull my grade up here. What is it that you're struggling with this? What is it? You know what I'm saying? So we were able to get each other to pass. Like, we both passed by God's grace, and that's what it is. Another thing that I can definitely say, for prep U's, I know that the majority of the nursing programs have prep U's and HESI case studies, and of course ours did too. So definitely be mindful of when your prep U's are due, because another reason I almost failed pharmacology was because my other instructors who I've taken for the other 3 classes, they had prep U's and HESI's due the last day of class, or the last week of class, I should say. This pharmacology instructor had our prep U's and our HESI case studies due on a certain day. So needless to say, I missed 7 of them. Or sorry, I missed 6 of them, because I didn't know that they were doing a certain day. I was planning on waiting to my last, week and hurrying up and getting them shits done and turning them in. Needless to say, that also dragged my grade down, because that was counted against me. So be on top of that. Make sure that you know the day that those things are due. Although I tell you guys to put it in your planner, I put it in a planner just as being due. I didn't look and say, oh shit, this is due on a certain day, because that's not how things were done with my other instructors. So be mindful of the instructor that you have and how they do things. So another thing that I can say is, make sure that you know your school's code of conduct, your nursing handbook, because instructors will try to get over on you. Period, point blank. Know that handbook. Read it front and fucking back. Be able to pull it up, okay, to go in your favor when things go wrong. Make sure you know that handbook. Another thing that I want to stress with you guys is definitely, I don't even know where I was going with it. I had it. Don't know where I was going with it. Okay, the handbook I wanted to go over with you guys. Grading scale I already went over. HESI case studies prep use. School supply list. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with it, guys. All I do know is that nursing school is intense. It is hard. It is stressful as fuck. You don't have time to do anything besides study in school. Thank God this next semester I'll only have to do one class for 7.5 weeks, and then when I'm done with that class I'll be moving on to OB, or I can do OB first for the first 7.5 weeks and then go to Med-Surg 2 for the second 7.5 weeks. But I think that me and my nursing sister chose to do Med-Surg 2, just go right into Med-Surg because we just finished Med-Surg 1. We'll also have a dosage calculation exam for this semester. There's 4 dosage calculation exams. It was Foundations, Med-Surg 1, Med-Surg 2, and Med-Surg 3. We don't have any dosage calculation exams for the 4th semester, which is great. So yeah, I wouldn't suggest reading in advance like I was stressing before. And the reason I say that is because you don't know how your instructor is, how they teach, where they pull their information from, and how they're going to do their exams. So it would be stupid of me to go ahead and read 3,000 pages and then my instructor really doesn't even teach from the book. So that would be pointless. And I've seen instructors do that. So that's why I'm saying, you know, just don't overexert yourself. Don't be in a rush, because once you get into nursing school, you're going to have enough to do. Don't be in a rush. Why is this school error? Maybe that'll work. Yes. Okay. So don't be in a rush to get things like that done. I was going to try and get things done in advance during this break, but I'm going to enjoy my break, catch up on some sleep, catch up on just me having fun and enjoying myself, because once that semester starts back, bro, you just really don't have time to take care of yourself or anything else for that matter. Make sure that you have some printer paper and some ink. And if you don't have a printer, get you one. Your assignments for clinical, like I was trying to get into, I don't know how all instructors do, but I know that my instructor had us do care plans. We had to do concept maps, care plans, med sheets. We had to do case studies. And then we also had like a skills lab where we would have to go in and we had to, I was actually the doctor. I was selected to be the doctor for whatever reason. And you had to know the role of each individual that was, you know, there. You were given an assignment and you basically had to just go. And if you didn't do right, then your patient would just go down and down and down, and the patient could actually die. Luckily, my team, we got it right. So my patient lived and they were stable. In real life clinical scenario, not just skills lab, you're given an assignment based off having, you know, you're given 1 or 2 patients and you go into that individual's chart. You go all through the chart so you can get to know them. You go through their lab values. You go through, you know, any of their progress notes. You know their history. You know all of that stuff. You look at their vitals, things like that. Then you go ahead and you get with the nurse that is responsible for that patient. And then you get your report from them. You can either take the report that they have and make a copy of it if they allow you to do that on that unit, or you just write down whatever they say and listen. Luckily, I talk fast so that way I can listen fast, because they're going to run down so fast. You have to get used to SBAR, which is situation, background, assessment, and recommendation. And that's the way that the nurses give report. And yeah, and they use a lot of, not acronyms, they use a lot of short phrases or code or whatever, I don't know. And so you have to get used to like their shorthand. Let's see. And then you go in and you introduce yourself to your patient. You tell them that you're the student nurse and things like that. And you can look and you can ask the tech or the CNA if they've gotten a set of vitals recently. If not, then you can go ahead and get them, or you can ask them to get them. You do your head to toe assessment. Sometimes the instructor wants you to do just like a general assessment, because obviously full on head to toe assessments take about 30 minutes. And a lot of times patients don't want to do that unless it's necessary. So you do like a generalized one and a focused one. So like based off what they're there for, you will kind of assess that. Luckily, my clinical instructor was allowing us to do other things. So like we will go to the ICU, we will go to the emergency department, and we even went into surgery. So my last day of clinical, I was actually in on a C-section. That was the most beautiful thing. Okay, lots of blood, lots of fluid, lots of everything. But needless to say, when the baby came out, beautiful child, just beautiful. It was a beautiful situation all in general. That was something. I had a C-section with my first child, obviously, but I didn't get to see any of it. I did push out my last 3 children, so that was great. But just to see somebody else give birth, whether it be to push it out or get cut open, it was just amazing. For the ICU, I had several patients. Can't go into too much details about those patients, but I did have a patient that was really, really sickly, and I'm not sure if the patient died, but I believe the patient was dying, unfortunately. And I do think that the patient was brain dead before I left, so I'm pretty sure they took the patient off life support. Yeah, I got to, do catheters on real patients. I was able to draw blood, give shots, give medications. And like I said, your instructor is going to ask you what this medication is for, why the patient is given it, what you're supposed to be assessing for after you've given it, things like that. They do check you guys. They check you for your socks. They check you for your uniform. They check you for your badge. They check you for your watch. They check you to make sure that you have all your material. Another thing that I would suggest is to bring a lock, because typically you're going to be not given a locker, but you'll have to find you a locker pretty much every day. So it's best if you have like personal items to have your lock. Make sure that you leave out in enough time to be on time. Guys, I've seen people get sent home for being a minute late. You don't want that to be you. Make sure that your hair is already up. You can get sent home if you're tying your hair up as you're supposed to be, ready and ready to walk to the unit. Make sure that you have your watch. Make sure your badge is on and not in your pocket. I've seen somebody get sent home because their badge was in their pocket and not on, so they technically weren't ready for the floor. They're intense, and it's intense, and you don't want to be that person, because you don't know if you're going to be able to make it up. You don't want to come this far to fuck that up because you're not ready to go on the unit. Watch what you're saying on the unit. Watch who you're talking about. Watch what you're saying about the school. Watch what you're saying about, anything like that, because at the end of the day, you don't know who you're around. You don't know who knows who, and things like that. Make sure that your phone is on silent or vibrate at the least. Make sure that you're washing your hands, or foaming in and out, because that is a big thing. They do watch it. Even if they don't say it, they will write you up for it. Like I said, make sure you know why these patients are taking these medications. And here's a quick tip. If you don't know what the medication is for, do a quick Google search. Google will tell you what this medication is typically for. Make sure you know that patient's chart in and out, why they're there, what they're currently there for, what their past medical history and stuff like that is for, because your instructor can at any time ask you, okay, what's going on with your patient? And you need to know that. Also, every assignment that they give you, make sure that you keep up with it, because they're going to need that back to turn into your nursing department. And honestly, I don't care how cool your instructor is. They're going by the book. Okay. My instructor was amazing. Sweet, sweet, sweet lady. She was actually studying to be a nurse. Well, studying for her nurse practitioner's exam. So her NCLEX, I guess that would still be. Or yeah, NCLEX NP. Because I would be taking the NCLEX RN. Yes. So she was actually studying for her NCLEX NP. She had just finished nursing school, or nurse practitioner program. She was really, really sweet, really, really sweet, really, really nice. But you knew she was about her business as far as making sure everything was 100% with your paperwork and making sure you had everything done. So that's as far as clinical goes. I don't know, you need to check to make sure that there's like a cafeteria at your site. Also make sure that you have either money or something like that, or bring you a lunch, because chances are they're not going to let you leave the location to go and buy food. What else can I give you guys today? Oh, never rely 100% on your instructor, because your instructor is going to teach you the bare minimum. You'll be teaching yourself the majority. So make sure that you're looking at YouTube. Make sure that you're freaking Googling. Make sure that you're going through those books like you're supposed to be. Get you those extra books off Amazon, like Nursing Made Insanely Easy. Get those study guide books where you can answer those questions, like the NCLEX, RN, whatever, test taking techniques. Get all of those books, and I highly recommend them because they help. They definitely help get you in that mindset of how to answer those nursing questions, because they're not like answering a freaking question of a regular test. Nursing questions, nursing exams are really intense. The HESI tests are intense because you can't go back. And they're all NCLEX style questions, so they're intense. And I'm going to go ahead and end this video because I feel like it's too long. If I think of anything else, I'll just go ahead and come back and tell you guys. But I went over what I feel like was most important for the first semester. Thank God, by God's grace, I finished and I am moving on to the second semester. So I'll be updating you guys throughout. I'm sorry that the program got so intense I could not record, like not even to head, like while I was in a car trying to do Car Chronicles. I couldn't even record then. Like it got so intense I didn't have like a second to even record. So I'm glad I'm able to come back and do this long video for you guys. I'm happy that you guys are reaching out to me. That lets me know that you guys like my channel, you like the material I'm putting out. You guys are good subscribers. To those of you who have actually used my channel, hit me up via email. I appreciate you, and I'm just congratulating you guys for being accepted into your nursing program. I thank you for leaving those great comments. I also thank you for the emails. I do actually have a subscriber who I found out was actually in my class. She actually is in my program, and I'm sad that she didn't make it. She didn't pass either courses for this second 7.5, but I do want to let her know it doesn't matter if you didn't make it. The only way that you don't succeed is if you give up. So do that remediation, girl. You got it. You came too far not to do it. You came too far not to continue on. It doesn't matter. Don't let this schooling beat you. I remember when we were in class and I was like panicking because I thought I failed pharmacology, and you were like, well, I think I did too. But I wasn't going to give up, and I don't want you to give up. Just come back in the second time and go a little harder. Doesn't matter if you have to sit out for a few months to remediate. Just don't give up, because you got that seat for a reason. So with that being said, to those of you who have followed my journey, I thank you. To those of you who are new, I thank you. Please go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, and share. You can always email me at always.nygeria@gmail.com. That is always.nigeria@gmail.com. Let me know of any future content. Let me know how you felt about this video. Let me know if you have any questions, comments below. With that being said, your girl is out.